When I looked at the preview day, it seemed bigger than a cup.
Oh, huge bowl. He's back.
He's the horse that we had when he was a 2-year-old, and maybe a little better.
And Game On Dude and Chantel Sutherland have taken the Goodwood Stakes.
She wins with something left. Something left for the Breeders' Cup.
But Zazu's going to get up, perfectly ridden by Joel Rosario.
This tie and these fancy blue shoes are the good luck charms, so expect to see those at the Breeders' Cup.
The final decision was I think we're going to stay on the grass and we're going to run Sunday.
But the more they asked, the more acclamation gave.
Andrea Stark is celebrating already. Daydream was won by many lengths.
This is HRTV Rewind, taking a look back at the racing week.
This venue defines mystique and tradition.
Into the stretch up. It's George Royal.
Tails now and Chris McCarron down at the rail.
What a performance, one we'll never forget.
A familiar setting with familiar faces.
Pat Valenzuela hasn't moved. I think the Derby's over.
It's a 1-2 finish for Bob Baffert.
And today, a new era begins. And the legends of the past look on.
Aljugar is home by 2 lengths.
Skywalker, an upset winner with Pincay aboard.
Nearly on the outside, Perot at the rail, loses a Sebastian wins in a new world champion.
As the stars of today ensue.
Thrill gets up to beat Majestic City. Game On Dude, so close, maybe Game On Dude. Blind Luck has just put them away with a 16 to go.
This is Santa Anita. The autumn meet begins today.
Play homeward bound in the Norfolk, and Creative Cause has given his head and he's striding home. Super impressive. This is a scintillating performance from Creative Cause, winning it easily under Joel Rosario.
If you had to zero in on a performance of the day, the horse you were most impressed with anywhere in the country, who would that be?
I would have to say the Norfolk today. That performance was as good as I've seen in a long time by a 2-year-old stretching out for the first time today. The Norfolk is the performance of the day.
Cue camera, Siegel, we need a winner.
Well, Uncle Mo is not a best bet. He is the most probable winner, but you can't make any money betting 2 to 5 or 3 to 5. So how about trying to beat a favorite? I'm going to try to do that with Zazu and the Ladies' Secret. I love Blind Luck. I respect her, but I think Zazu on Saturday pulls off the surprise, and she'll pay off pretty well.
Zazu on the outside, going with that is Ultra Blend. Ultra Blend, Zazu coming home in a thriller. Inside of that is Great Hot, but Zazu's going to get up, perfectly ridden by Joel Rosario, and Zazu's 1.5 a length to Ultra Blend.
In the news of the day, unquestionably, the news about Blind Luck not going towards the Breeders' Cup. Jerry Hollendorfer saying earlier this morning they will not go for a try in the Ladies' Classic. She's doing fine. There's nothing physically wrong with their champion filly. She just threw a bad race, and he said, quote, "We're big boys and we'll take the good with the bad." She's going to get tests up and down over the next couple of days, but Blind Luck looks like her 2011 campaign is finished for now.
And Dubawi Heights up to strike the front, Fuller Run, Harmonious getting involved late. Homeward bound now in the yellow ribbon, and it's all Dubawi Heights in another fantastic performance today. Dubawi Heights will give Joel Rosario his 3rd Grade 1 today.
Talking of owners, your father is the part owner, Neville. How is Neville feeling right now?
Yeah, he's a little bit more emotional than me, but you know, he's delighted and proud, I'm sure.
Buddy, acclamation cross-entered for the Goodwood tomorrow or the Clement Hirsch on Sunday. Has a decision been made on which way you'll go?
Well, it's been a tough decision because both races are attractive to us. But the final decision was I think we're going to stay on the grass and we're going to run Sunday.
Now, he was schooling down here in the paddock earlier and now running on Sunday. How did he do earlier today?
Oh, he was wonderful. He couldn't have been any better. He looks great. I think he's on top of his game. I expect him to run very well on Sunday. So Any horse can get beat. There's no doubt about that. You got to run around, but I think he's going to run very well.
Acclamation is finding more. Champ Pegasus is stretching him every yard of the way, but Acclamation just keeps on finding Champ Pegasus still right there with him. But the more they asked, the more Acclamation gave, and Acclamation wins it handwritten by Pat Valenzuela.
Congratulations, 5 graded stakes wins in a row. How does this feel?
Well, he's a very, very accomplished horse, and we're very proud of him. And of course, it feels great. How can it else could it feel?
You've got a lot of options. You've got a ticket punch to the Breeders' Cup Classic. Obviously, he's really good on the turf course. You made another $90,000 here to help you supplement to the Breeders' Cup. What's going through your mind as far as what you might do heading out to Churchill?
Well, we'll see how he comes out of the race. We'll see how things shape up. But right now, we've got it in mind that we're going to go to the Breeders' Cup and most likely run in the distance turf.
Candrea just in front, trying to make a shifted ground, continues to come after them. Weemus Frankie grandstand side, but Candrea digs deep and finds more. Candrea, Weemus Frankie gonna get a Weemus Frankie in a thriller.
Well, I didn't find the filly. I just made the decision to push the price to where it was. I was actually at home when they were at the auction, and I had to say go or no go, and I kept going, and I'm very blessed.
You were here yesterday. Today you're all booted and suited. How are you feeling today with another Grade 1 win under your belt?
Well, one thing's for certain, this tie and these fancy blue shoes are the good luck charms, so expect to see those at the Breeders' Cup.
Trainer Bob Baffert is coming on by. You got any tips for Chantel right here for Game On Dude today, Bob?
They're going to have to pass her to win.
That's pretty much all they need to know?
That's all they need to know.
But Game On Dude's full of run, he's finding more. Game On Dude goes on, Awesome Gem finishing stoutly down the center of the track, but it's going to be Game On Dude to win it, and Game On Dude and Chantel Sutherland have taken the Goodwood Stake.
Bob, you told us earlier today that this horse was going to be on the front end, but probably not with the sort of fractions that we saw him carve out. What was going through your mind when you saw those times clip off?
I know he's pretty fit. But this horse, when he does that, he has so much determination, and for him to hold off Awesome Gem, I mean, I think Chantal did a great job keeping him going. I think that this horse today, he's proved, he is the real deal, and I just love the way he fought back like that.
Bob, you tweet. I find that hard to believe.
For your fans, they really enjoy it. So I thought, well, I'll do it, but maybe if I like a horse or something. So at Hollywood Park, every time I really loved one going to the gate, I'd send a tweet out like, I really love this horse. And I only had like about 50 followers. The next day, there was maybe 1,000 followers after that. I was at Saratoga, and I was walking to the paddock. I was going to go saddle Coil, and some fan walked by and says, "Hey, Bob, I'm not betting Coil unless I see the tweet."
You're watching HRTV Rewind with a week of racing to recap.
Quickly, a bullet drill, real quick.
Okay.
Breeders' Cup or Breeders' Bowl? Because when I looked at the preview day, it seemed bigger than a cup.
Bowl, huge bowl.
Top seed upsets. How many go down?
At least a half a dozen.
At least,
and
right?
Yeah.
What incredible Super Saturday it's been here at Belmont Park. And Richard, we escaped the rain today. I think that was key for everyone's comfort.
Well, it got cool, but at least it stayed dry, and we were treated to some of the best racing I've seen in a long time.
And Arlington Million Day sure proved prolific here with the Beverly D winner and the Million winner coming back to win here.
Well, it's nice to see horses be able to carry their form, travel, and carry their form from place to place, and the two probably best grass horses in America right now.
Stasalita and Cape Blanco, although he'll likely go back to Ballydoyle and then join us once again for the Breeders' Cup.
This horse is serious speed, so I suppose 1.25 miles is kind of his best trip on fast ground. But the ground is a big thing, and I can't eliminate that enough. That the ground out there is just very, very deep, and it happens here at Belmont that the turf when it gets soft, it gets deep. So, I think all in all he's done well. We'd like to have 1, 2, or 3 lengths, but you don't get paid any extra for it.
Giant Ryan, a big surprise in the Vosburg. Bisnath Parbu definitive on the fact that they are going to supplement him to the Breeders' Cup Sprint.
Well, why not? This horse hasn't done much wrong this year, and he keeps running one good race after another, and he's game. You have to give that to him.
And it is Giant Ryan who pulled it off at 12-1.
and the Kelso. The fans were out in droves to cheer on Uncle Mo. He's an athlete, and he showed it. He's back.
I was so impressed with that performance, and to think about what this horse has overcome to get back to that form, serious player. He still has a chance to redeem himself and maybe even jump into championship picture.
Listen, he got beat in Saratoga, and I said we got him back. We got him back. We definitely. He's the horse that we had when he was a 2-year-old, and maybe a little better.
After this performance, I'll talk to Todd, but I mean, 90% chance he's going to the Breeders' Cup Classic. I mean, the way he just galloped out, and the gallop out was great. The way he just pulled away when Jackson Ben got it. You know, this horse, if he was in the sprint, he'd be the favorite. If he was in the mile, he'd be the favorite. And I honestly think that possibly he's got a shot to being the favorite in the Classic.
And then, of course, the Beldame. We saw Have de Grace, who's one of the leading candidates for Horse of the Year, come out and dazzle us with a performance that included having her ears pricked for about a 16th of a mile.
Well, she's a superstar, and she's a beautiful mare, and she knows it, and she strutted her stuff today, but winning with something left.
It kind of remind me of the Obeah win this summer at Delaware Park. She had some in reserve, and that was what we was hoping for. We hoped we didn't have to use 110%. I told Ramon it was there. If he needed it, use it, but we hoped we didn't have to.
And then, of course, the Jockey Club Gold Cup. It was a big day for a small barn. Scooter Dickey with only 5 horses in training. And now he has a horse that has all expenses paid to the Breeders' Cup Classic and Flat Out, a horse you like.
Well, and I really like him here at Belmont. He's a horse that wants to race outside, and he's much better when he gets to set up out in the clear and finish the way he did. I want to see him do it at 2 turns now.
What was your performance of the day today, Rich?
Would have to be Uncle Mo. Uncle Mo was just outstanding, and the enthusiasm from the crowd actually gave me chills. What about for you, Karen?
I'd say Have de Grace, the way she did it so easily, the Woodward proving to be such an important race here, and the fact that Larry Jones just wanted an easy race for her going into the Breeders' Cup. He got exactly what he wanted. He said she's the total package, and he can't falter. So an excellent day all the way around. Super Saturday is in the books. We're glad you could join us right here on HRTV for all the action. Hopefully we'll see all these winners in the Breeders' Cup.
Trinniberg and Vexer, and they're slugging it out in the final furlong here. Vexer fully extended. Trinniberg fighting him every step of the way. Pitch battle, length of the stretch. A battle that will go to Vexer. Vexer an 18-1 upset here to take the Nashua. A furlong remaining, and Believe You Can. Believe You Can takes the lead. Perennial Song and Georgie's Angel, they're coming down to the finish. And Believe You Can, indeed. Won it by 2.5 lengths. Shakespeare Shalia, final furlong. Shakespeare Shalia, Kitten's Kid down inside. Captain Webb between them, and so too Fantastic Song driving to the line. Shakespeare Shalia the winner. On the far outside, Mystic Mama's coming on late. Royal Bonnie between horses as they come down to the finish. But it's gonna be pure gossip in a shocker. Gonna pay 23-1 here.
Cover waiting patiently for room, nowhere to go. Here's Precious Kitten, the other filly running a big one, and Captiville the grey. Captiville is let loose, but Golden Cover goes through at the rail, and look at the acceleration from Golden Cover as she bursts forward, and what a brilliant filly is this. Golden Cover in an awesome effort, outrun Captiville to win it well. Golden Cover is coming home like an express train down the centre. Courageous Cat running a huge one. Golden Cover's going to have to switch out a little. She does so though. Coming with a late run, just enough humour. But Golden Cover is just scintillating. Golden Cover is something special. Golden Cover and Olivia Pallier win it again. Golden Cover's let loose. She's flying. Sydney's Candy, the usual QT's in there as well. But Golden Cover's catching with each and every stride. Are we to see history this afternoon? Here's Paco Boy late, but no, Golden Cover, a true champion. 3 Breeders' Cup wins. Olivia Pallier, the perfect ride. Golden Cover has won.
Surf Rider closing behind them. It's going to be Golden Cover and Dream Ahead fighting it out now. They're racing down towards the last 200 metres. The white and blue is Golden Cover. The pink jacket is Dream Ahead, who looks to be narrowly in front. They hit the line very close between Dream Ahead and Golden Cove.
All year in Europe, she's had a pace setter, but who really could not give her the needed pace. And as soon as the pace setter fades, she goes to the front much too early. Now, the one thing that worries me a little bit more is when I talked to Olivier Pellier, he did say she was lacking something in the end. She did not have the usual kick that she has, and you know, I talked to Freddie Head afterwards, and he did say it's the second time this happened, and she is indeed 6 years old. We tried to go after John Henry's record, but so far they're still planning to go to the Breeders' Cup. They're going to give her, a couple of days and check. But if there are no signs that she's not fit to come, she is coming, and she's going to try.
What struck me, and I hadn't really fully appreciated before, is how small she is. You do worry that if she gets in close quarters, gets in tight and gets shorter racing room, whether she's really got the strength and the muscle to then get out and use what is a very, very potent turn of foot. If she gets a clean run, then I think she's a very, very good chance. The talk and the hype and the expectation around him has always exceeded what he's actually achieved. But I think what everyone's itching to see is the sort of stellar performance, the extraordinary time, the sparkling turn of foot, the exuberance that he showed when he was in the Southern Hemisphere. I think there's a sense of expectation around So You Think that hasn't quite been delivered yet. He's not for me, because I think there's too many questions. Perhaps we lose sight of the fact that he's already an winner and he's got one or two pieces of form that put him right in the mix. Well, I think he's compromised by the likelihood of a very fast surface, even though he is a track record holder of the Epsom Derby, and the overall balance of his career record suggests that he is better with a little bit of ease in the ground, and connections subsequent to that have always fought shy of a very fast surface. And I think that will be playing on their mind.
And in the orange jacket, Dane Dream has quickened up in tremendous style to go through now. Charetta in second to Nicholas Abbey. Snowfarer coming from the back of the field. Andreas Stark is celebrating already. Dane Dream has won by many lengths. A fantastic performance. Dane Dream, the German filly, has come through.
A perfect day here in the Bois de Boulogne for Dane Dream to strut her stuff majestically, regally, in taking the arc by many, many lengths. Alain de Wyatt-Dupré has had to settle for second, but not with Sarafina, who never threatened, not with Reliable Man, who was disappointing, but with Charetta.
I heard from the winning jockey, Andreas Stark, that he would not celebrate because he had to drive back to Germany. He drove to Longchamp today, 6 hours, and he has to drive back tonight, and he's riding 7 tomorrow in Cologne. That was the most surprising moment for me.
You're watching HRTV Rewind, taking a look back at the racing week.
Last week we took you to the Winter Resort.
Really, I think what Jim, he did all other kind of sports, but Jim lived for racing.
With the great secretariat here at Claiborne Farm.
He was telling the world about this country that he loved, this country of Maryland.
And this is Seattle's Slew.
So why don't you dream up one more and we could call it the Maryland Million. And that's where the name was born.
Doesn't matter, rain or shine, this has become one of the more important days in Maryland racing, particularly to the breeders and the owners of Maryland sired horses. We'll have much more coming up from Maryland Laurel Park Live throughout the afternoon.
Brushed by Love to the inside, Love's Reason battles gamely. Blushing BJ, Art of the Hunt of the Fire outside. Brushed by Love, headed to the mile wire. Brushed by Love to do it, a length and a half.
She just means so much to our family. So we really want to dedicate this race day to him today.
Ben's Cat, steady warrior, fighting hard all the way down to the line. Ben's Cat does it again here at Laurel Park. Perfect at Laurel for legendary King Leatherberry jockey Jeremy Rose. Ben's Cat.
I mean, obviously, I'd like him to go. I think this is the best horse at this distance in the country.
Now we still have to see what we can put together to get the 100,000.
He's certainly a favorite here, and he's the star of this Maryland Million Day. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
With a 16th to go, it's Bluegrass Attitude. Bluegrass Attitude and a winning attitude today. Love that dance. Pablo Fregoso begging for the wire. Here's Silver Heart, Travis Dunkelberger surging on the outside. Love that dance in the photo. Here's Call of a Lion, a 16th of a mile out, grabbing on board Charade. And third outside is Ladder to the Moon, Centripetal Motion. Call of a Lion on board Charade. Call of a Lion photo. Glib is gone under Eric Camacho. Glib ultra sharp to win the Maryland Million Nursery by 5 from Coach Fridge. Loves Blush going wider and wider, but winning. Loves Blush and Jeremy Rose in the Maryland Million Lady.
Mile and an eighth suited her, and that's why we entered her in this race. So, I mean, the outcome was better than I expected.
Sloan Ranger, Regal Solo, outside Sandbag and Lover. Regal Solo, one final surge at Sloan Ranger. Sloan Ranger would not be denied. Pocket Patch, Day Flight, Action Andy. Pocket Patch and Forest Boys to do it. Cactus Charlie diving to the inside. One more try, but it's 8 to fast to catch. They can't catch, 8 to fast to catch in the Classic.
This has got to be probably the biggest thing for my wife and I.
Short of what you drink to the outside, one more try. Short of what you drink, swallow the field. And Money for Love, short of what you drink, short of what you drink.
I think there's a few crab cakes waiting for us.
Yes.
It's always a pleasure to work with you as well.
Kate, and it's always fun, and we will go and chill out because it is really getting cold out here.
We are heading out from Maryland. In the meantime, we bid adieu for Maryland Million Day.
Derby now a field of 7, and Shackelford and Caleb's Posse as the morning line favorites both got in last night. The Caleb's Posse coming in from Arlington Park, and of course Shackelford coming in from Churchill Downs. Shackelford looking to become only the second of the Triple Crown horses to participate here in the Indiana Derby. Last year, of course, the other being Looking at Lucky, who was the winner for the Bob Baffert barn. Speaking of Bob Baffert, Baffert not with a Derby horse this year, but he's looking to defend his title in the Indiana Oaks. He will be sending out AZ Warrior, as last year, always a princess for Arnold Zetcher. So Baffert looking to go back-to-back on this one. Martin Pedrosa in from Southern California to ride AZ Warrior. Appears he might go as an odds-on favorite in the race.
With great pleasure to the inside of the second spot, Daisy Divine under the inside, Nasty Rumor with less than a 16th to go. It's Juanita. She has led every step of the way, and Juanita is home a winner. Juanita wins the 16th running of the Indiana Oaks.
Actually, my sons picked it out, and one of them is here and the other one is not, but they picked it out along with another filly, and we've done very well. We've had 4 wins out of 5 starts.
It's Wilburn leading for home. Shackelford to the outside, a hard-charging Caleb's Posse. They're at the 16th pole, and Wilburn is out by 3. It's Wilburn to win the 17th running of the Indiana Derby.
You've been a well-traveled rider, New York, Florida, Southern California. The Midwest, you've also done very, very well. How special is it to win here at Hoosier?
It's special to win the Derby and Oaks today, so it's very good. I'm very happy.
That's all for Rewind this week. Here's a look at what's coming up next week on HRTV.
A victory from last to first for Coyle and the son of Point Given, giving our special guest this week another victory in the Haskell. Hi, everybody, and welcome to a brand new edition of, can we start over again? Thank you.
Well, this is taped.